the stripe, no. George with the rebound. 13 minutes, 5 points. Tied up by Beal.
Here's Tyrese Maxey, who's yet to take a shot so far. He leads the NBA in field goal attempts from 3 and from inside the arc. George has to hoist with one on a timer and buries his second 3.
That's pretty good defense by Derrick Jones, and that's an example.
First year for George with Philly, spent the last 5 here in LA with the Clippers. Did help them reach their first ever conference finals back in 2021. And Kawhi Leonard got hurt in the middle of that playoff run as George drew. Mild boos again from the crowd here for Paul George. 3-time All-Star in his 5 years here. And he hits the 2, knowing that Hart would need the ball in his hands more.
Yeah, and look, NBA superstars, a lot of them aren't as easy. And Paul George is the rare.
Understand the first half, Norm had it going, so he's just getting everybody involved. And then third quarter, he turns on offensively.
16-point lead at the moment for you guys. They're certainly an ignitable team on the other side. How do you close it out?
Take care of the basketball. Like our defense, if we get them to play at our half, it's our half court.
Supersonics, who started 1-7, by the way. Marvin Webster, downtown Freddie Brown, Gus Williams, Dennis Johnson, Paul Silas, Bruce Seals, Jack Sigmund, great team, ended up making the finals.
Already 3 assists for James in this first. Lakers are 3 of 4 from downtown. George separates and drops it in. Check into the game and immediately shoot a 30-foot trail 3.
And I said, well, what are you trying to say? You're speaking my language right now. What's wrong with that philosophy?
You know, every once in a while, as Paul George lays in, I'll think about you, Tim, and I'll think. Lakers are 9 for 15 from deep. They make just 11 threes a game. George slithers in and finishes.
So smooth.
After missing so much last season with an ankle injury, and Hornets 4 and 5 to start the season as a result.
Sixers have to guard against that quick hitting pick and roll. Yeah, just got to simplify your defensive approach. Tell yourself you're just going to stay on the floor. It's simple.
George from the left elbow, he rattles it in, and even back for Buzz City. Here's Dribble kicking it out to PG. George trying to work on Green. Huff mid-range on the baseline, and it goes for ball. 5-point Sixers lead. PG.
0 for 5. Jalen Brunson was his second 3-point try. And Paul George is cooking right now. He's got 11. He was listed as doubtful with an illness. Of course, the Sixers have been in Miami since Friday night after their loss to Orlando. Paul George on a step-back jumper. And he's come ready. 15-year veteran and a finish with force. The delivery by Tyler finding Jim. Pinpoint pass and another nice delivery there for Paul George, who has 7 quick points. Former teammates. George over Tobias Harris. Look at the Sixers go, folks. And McCain comes away with it. George knifing into the lane, coaches the foul and 1.
Just their 4th win of the year. First shot of the game missed by Maxey. Had an abandoned by Kyle Lowry, who is out of the starting lineup. Paul George, first basket of the game, number 8. Brown and Paul George have combined for 60 points. What we expected. Paul George.
Here we go.
29 in the win at Charlotte on Tuesday, and more importantly, just looks smooth and comfortable.
Well, being up in a 2-3 zone are the Magic. Give the Sixers a different look. Doesn't seem to matter to Paul George.
Picking up where he left on 2.
Foul them and then limit your turnovers because you don't want to give them easy buckets. So keep them off the line and keep them away from the fast break.
To Paul they go. George fading and getting another back-to-back buckets to start tonight for Paul George.
He's got good size, keeping the Magic on their toes.
checked in. Low pass. Oh, and in. Good stuff there from Paul George.
I'd like to try to get back in the ball game. We welcome it.
They were better in the third quarter. 5 for 13 on threes, but they were just 1 for 21 in the second and third. Beg your pardon, they were 5 for 13 in the first quarter. They started. Good fake for McCain. At 4. At 2. PG from the wing. Cannons for Philly P.
Kobe was 0 for 5 up to that point. Sometimes you got to get yourself getting some layups first to get yourself moving up a little bit.
George trying to go one-on-one against Giddey. Gets the 18-foot jumper.
Still one of
For the Philadelphia 76ers, they were down 10. They'll find themselves up by 10. Big turnaround by Philadelphia. George just stepped back about 18 feet. That's the shot he's made throughout his career.
they're shooting over 70%.
And done for the night at halftime. See how they start off this fourth quarter. And George, up and down it goes. The lead down to 5. George going at the youngster. PG hits the
Walker in a blender there defensively, had him on his heels.
George, Martin, Maxey, Council, and Drummond. The bottom 4 right now for the Sixers. PG, another step back, and that is where he does his role in the mid-range for Paul George.
Miller. Interesting to note, the 76ers won't play again until Friday. Wow. And Dell, their opponent that night will be
Us.
the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
Interesting week for the 76ers.
They just lost to the Pacers, the last team, the Hornets.
Paul George quiets things. Kyle Lowry an offensive rebound. Difference game clock and shot clock is 15 seconds. Philadelphia has to put it up. Oh, goodness, Paul George. Sipping from the fountain.
Better. Maxey maybe is playing better, a little better this year. Albert, such a slow start, although he's come along really good as of late.
You kidding me, Paul George? From what he saw when Isaiah was at Miami, he knew he was a baller. I concur. Oh, Paul George. Are they going to give him continue?
Riot offensively tonight, letting his teammates do the heavy lifting there. 9 rebounds and 8 assists though for PG. Baseline jumper. Paul George delivers.
He had an efficient 22. Maxey finds George after the switch once again. George wants to work on Garland. He'll take another mid-range jumper that rattles in.
A little bit, not sloppy, just a little bit of fatigue in some of the passing and trying to get into a groove. Guys are playing hard. It's going to come.
George wanted to push off, and it was George Niang on Paul George. He didn't get it, and Paul George.
Team a few more tools to work with, and it's just been remarkable.
Maxey rolls it off to George. George checks the shot clock. He has 4 seconds with which to work, and he buries a 3. The Sixers
Right now, and they're letting their voices be heard, and yet somehow he's still pushing through all that.
George past him, getting away. Smart play on the middle of PG.
After creating, capitalized by a rookie.
PG, rocking the baby. Hit the mid-range.
Johnson on.
24, Paul George with 17. Embiid ejected in the second quarter. Drummond unavailable, KJ Martin down 2. Paul George coming in the foul.
They wanted it in late October.
Well, you've got 3 different offensive players that can be the center of your universe offensively. It just creates such a gravity.
Got to find different ways to score in this second half.
Embiid has attempted 10 free throws in this game. That's the 44th time that he's attempted 10. The C's parted and Paul George runs in for.
Three-point field goal made in his career list.
Nice swoop there.
So they've knocked down
down 10 of them. 10 of 16 at this point.
This high screen and roll between George, who knocks down another.
5-point Philadelphia lead. It gets extended there as Paul gives it up to George.
Come back. Yeah, go.
George with 14 6 assists. Step back. Productive night.
He's 20 years old, second youngest player on the Pelicans roster. Paul George, the turnaround. He'll go to the rebound. PG. Step back. Paul George. Count it. Needing that three.
Yeah, runner. Hey, good block.
21 of his 23 in the second half. George, jump stop and lays it up and in. 25 in.
Magic lead is 7. Novoselic on the give to George. Crossing over against Batazzi. Spin move and a short shot is good. George going to work against Queen again, and he buries another three. It's 3 in the quarter for Paul George. We talked about it earlier. They started by Anthony picks it up on the switch. Paul George, 3-point shot, got it again.
The big fella, we're drawing a couple double teams now and again.
He usually makes those numbers a little better. Here's George massaging his way in and banking it home.
If they're going to continue to build this lead.
George guarded by Strawther. George goes at him and hits a little mid-range jumper.
Over good deep.
Looking in. And Chicago tonight take on the Bulls, who are in the 10 spot right now in the East. Final place. Sixers are 11. George fading away. Tough shot. Rolls in.
Talk about Wade and how big one just dives to the basket to kick out to Jerome. Look how much space and time he has to size this one up. Eventually knocking down that left wing three. Good
Attention. John spinning, kicking. George thinking about it. PG from downtown. And the Sixers are with him. 4 for 4 from outside. He hasn't missed yet.
that little basket catch in the corner, and he knew that he wanted to step back and get behind that line.
Right back for the Sixers.
The defenders coming to help too. So slippery off the dribble is Garland.
Mitchell and Garland with 20 apiece now. George slithering his way in for 2, and now PG joins Maxi. We've got 3 days to claim your 5-piece nugget. The chance we could have for 12 though at the end of this one. George from outside, and PG delivers.
Yeah, Cleveland needs to stop the Sixers to continue to look at the basket and score.
Paul George doing just that. The hoop and the home for PG.
Getting his hand on passing lane. It lands with George. Los Angeles Lakers. George gets the step. Garland, excellent defender, and Lonzo Ball.
Shot it, could have sprayed. I got guys that open 3. But we'll be good. We'll be fine. We'll fight back, get under 10, and see what happens.
Thanks, Tyrese.
Well, it'd be nice if Paul George got going a little bit, finding 76ers 10 games below 500 on the season. Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey playing in their 11th game together as George knocks down consecutive. Embiid chips it to George. Just to see Embiid, George, and Maxey on the floor at the same time. George gets inside. Nice finish with some contact.
Well, nice stagger, beautiful stagger.
That's his first.
Well, here's what I say. Wilt got traded. Kareem got traded. When you think of LeBron got traded.
Mismatch down low. If you're Embiid, get in there for the offensive glass.
baskets. And they're plus 18 points shooting from three. George got the handoff. Hauser is on him starting the second quarter. Shot clock at 4. Paul George step back. 1, 2, 1. So he's got the stroke tonight in a quick 7.
Absolutely destroyed the zone by the Sixers. And it's all been about Cornette in the
Luke. Another player they've developed.
Try to put Giddey up from the basket, but those long arms somehow reach the rim. He's been aggressive. He's doing a lot of good things out there right now for this Bulls team, not just for himself, but getting others involved.
He's got 16 now in the first.
5th in the league in scoring. Here's Paul George, career year number 15 for George, gets to the basket. It's been a struggle, though. 16 points per game.
Liked Kelly Oubre's energy. You had 19 points. That's the most they have this season. But he just emphasized that they need more from Paul George and Maxey, and they're getting good looks. They just need to connect, guys.
They do right there, Paul George, under 500.
Been very few games where they've let go of the rope and let their spirit be impacted.
George goes at Brunson. Again, they let the contact go, and George connects. So a good start to the third quarter for Paul George. Paul George drills another one. George heating up 4-4 in the third.
I just like that he's
in that play-in group. 4 fouls under the post. Paul George rainbows that one through. Just his third basket in 7-1. Shot clock. Inbound to George. He's doubled, pulls it back. Timer at 5. George puts it on the floor.